Welcome back to the Mambo Podcast, episode 6. And what a beautiful time to be alive. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. As you can already see, the boy is in the mood. As you can see, I'm rocking a pink shirt. You already know. So today our video was sponsored by Sense by Mambo. As you can see here, we have the product here where Sense by Mambo sells colognes, it sells scents. As you can see, beautiful stuff, very classy stuff. It also comes with what? It also comes with a manual for how to apply your scents and everything. So check them out on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. They are all over, but mostly active on TikTok. So check them out. Tell me what you think. Our second sponsor, shout out to 5G Reality Channel. 5G Reality Channel is a company that uses their products and services during funeral occasions. They provide online eulogies to ease up the burden of printing so many eulogies, and they offer a whole package. Check them out on Facebook. They are live there. So today's podcast is special because today we are going to be reviewing all of the podcasts we have done since last month. This is the 6th episode, so we'll be reviewing 5 episodes. So yeah. So today, let's first review episode 1. Episode 1 was episode 1 was just the starting. It was kind of wild because it was the beginning of this thing that we have done consecutively until now we're in the 6th episode. Many people think that making content is easy. Many people think that doing this shit is easy. But you know what? This shit is ridiculously fucking hard, I swear. It may look easy, it may look like you're just coming up here and talking, but it's not until you sit on the other side of the sword you know that it cuts deep. Now, episode 1 we shot with friends of mine, JDL and Jaden and his brother Ian, and we did a beautiful thing as the beginner episode. There we talked about money, we talked about women, we talked about relationships, and just to give a short, brief explanation of what we talked about relationships, and I think this thing went deep in that episode because first we had the two brothers, and they were able to explain a lot of stuff, I think, that went really deep in that perspective. Now, I think relationships should be put in order. When I say in order, I think that everybody should keep intact with whoever they love and whoever they care about. What I try to mean is when you have person A and person B, these two people share one thing in common. They have one thing in common where they say, you are my friend, you are my lover, you are my parent, you are my this, you are my that. There is a common notion of love and friendship, or love and companionship in whatever instance it is. So we were able to talk about that, and we talked about how it is important to be good in a relationship, how it is important to be deep. If you are going to be in a relationship, I think it should be strong and genuine, and don't be somewhere where you feel like you are trying to compromise or anything. Mostly during this time where we see many people are trying to compromise, don't compromise, don't get yourself out of the way for people just to please people or do something like that sort. So I think that was a good thing we talked about. We also talked about the digital era, where we have so much online, like there's too much information online. We spoke about the digital prostitution, all the digital stuff where we have women selling their bodies online and all of this. And it was an interesting topic because I think we should also dwell in that a lot. And I think that, first of all, I'm not one person to say that this is right, this is wrong. We are all humans, we are all adults. Everybody should get to do what they love. Everybody should get to do what makes them happy. So I'm not one to tell somebody, stop doing that. If you think it is good for you, you do it. If you think it's bad for you, don't do it. That is the freedom that every man has. That is the freedom that God gave us all. The freedom of mind, the freedom of doing. The only time that you don't have freedom is the time when you're in prison or something. But if you have the freedom and you have the power to do everything in your hands, it is always up to you to make your own decisions. So able to talk about that. We talked about all these OnlyFans and all these type of things. So check out that episode. It was crazy. We also talked about love, and we talked about love in the aspect of a man and a woman. And I remember Jadel was saying that, or it was either Jadel or Ian was saying that sometimes a man you should always be the first one to approach and always be more stronger than the other person or than your counterpart. Now, definitely, I think that was something that I took from that. By the way, that was one take. You see, the best thing about doing this podcast is one, it is very raw because we don't even get to decide what you're coming to talk. So whenever somebody says something, it is definitely out of their mind. They are not guessing or they are not trying to script it. So in that context, I think that men should first work on themselves before you even start approaching and even start showing off and start saying that I love you and stuff. First, you should have worked on yourself properly. Like you should have become who you're supposed to be first before you go and approach somebody and tell them, you welcome them to your space. You first should have done everything in accordance to how you're supposed to be so that you can accommodate another person. That was also a very interesting take I took from that podcast. So that was episode 1. So into episode 2. Episode 2, we hosted a TikToker and a friend of mine. Her name is Jem. Check her out on TikTok. Her TikTok is being Wairimu. She's doing beautiful stuff on there. Mostly it is the women type of content, so maybe around makeup, beauty and stuff. Check her out. She's doing something on that on a platform which is TikTok. So with Jem, we talked about relationships, we talk about women, we talk about men. That episode was actually very interesting because we got to see life from the POV of a woman. Like we are used to be men talking about men, but we got to understand men from a point of view of women. Now, there we talked about so much. And these are my takes from that podcast. That was episode 2. Now, my take from that podcast was one. You see, men and women will never be the same. Let's first get that across. The point of view of thinking for men and women are not the same. Like one idea that I may have, and I think that this is a good idea, and I serve it to the other party, they think that is not a good idea. But if I serve it to my fellow men, they think it's a good idea. If you understand, you understand. So I got to understand that we can never be the same. These are two different genders. These are two different bodies. These are two different people with different points of thinking. My take from that podcast was one. I remember she was saying that for a man, you must first work hard because you're the provider. I remember she was saying that she said something like that, and she said that you must work hard so that you can be able to accommodate the other person. It was the same thing what was said in the. I want to show you how comparison is. It is the same thing that was said in the first podcast was brought here, but now by different people. So it is like an agenda that was trying to be brought. Now, I also really liked that she had an open view of how women should also work hard and get things for themselves. Now, let me dive into that. She said that for women, if you don't want to be mistreated, if you don't want to be treated like a third party, you may be in the relationship, but you're just a third party in that relationship. She said that first you must work hard and get your own living. You must work hard and get your own career, work hard, get your own money, your own car, and whatever it is that you want to get, whatever you desire as a woman, get it first before going into the space of having a relationship, you see? And I think that was also a very good point that she brought out, because I think that people should first work on themselves. Work on yourself first. Make sure that you have achieved everything that you've ever desired before going and entering in a new idea or a new relationship. Work first on yourself. So she said that first women should work hard. Don't stop taking men's money or whatever. You work hard and get your own money first. And once you've gotten your own money, nobody will come and tell you that you are this and this and that and that. So I think that was also something good that she said. So that was an interesting podcast, by the way. Go and check out episode 2. That was different. It was very, very what? Many people that watched it said that the chemistry between us was crazy. I want to put it out there that it is crazy. It is crazy. I won't say anything else. They'll hold me accountable. Now, So check it out. That was episode 2. Yeah, so check it out. It was amazing. It was amazing. That was actually among my favorites that I've done. Now, episode 3 was interesting. Now this one was totally manhood talk. This one was like the rawest manhood talk that could ever happen on the internet. Achana Andrew Tate and the likes. This was the rawest that could happen. Now we were with my friend and colleague called Mark. Mark is my friend. We have hustled with him in these streets, and we have done a lot of things with him. And yeah, so first thing we talked about is careers. Careers. Now, I think careers are a very interesting topic. And it's very interesting because in the times that we're living in, careers are developing day by day. As others are developing, others are dying. Now, the patriarchal way of society of doing things was we get we finish high school, we finish high school, we go to campus. Once we get our papers, maybe study something that is big, like engineering, education, medicine, whatever big career it is, and everybody had to go that route. But now, with the coming of age, in this century that we are in, and the year that we are in, we have had an evolution of careers. Others are dying, others are coming up. Now, with the emergence of AI and the emergence of the internet and social media, careers are coming up. Anybody can create their own career and start on their career today. That is the beauty of living in this century that we're in. Like, you have the liberty of doing anything that you want. That is the best thing about living in this time. Now, I talked about careers and talked about engineering. Engineering was also very special because I'm also a certified engineer. I've done engineering in campus. But engineering, we talked about how difficult that course is. It's among the second, I think it's the second most difficult career in the world if to go and study it, I think so. So I think it's a very interesting topic that we talked about. Anybody who aspires to do that engineering course, I think you should check this out, check that podcast out to get to understand how these ideas work, how it is in the market space and stuff. We also talked about how life as a man is, how as a man you must work hard and get your paper, get everything that you desired. Don't start doing shortcuts and stuff and trying to get things from the other side of the way. You can do that and maybe it works for you, but you see the long run of that is most probably things won't work out. But if you do things in accordance to how you see, the universe has one way of moving. The universe is going like this, and you want to go like this, you will collide with it. So if the universe says that we're all going like this, and you are in accordance with it, you will definitely get what you want. We also talked about how life as a man is in the relationship of in the perspective of relationships, where we talked about how as a man first in this era you must have money to get women. Women are a luxury that you get once you have money. If you have no money, you have no time to be talking with women. I also concur with that 100% because in this time, in my 20-something years of living, there is no day that, you see, if a woman comes and tells you that there is nothing like you can come, we stay without money. You see, number one, everything that you do, you'll need money for dates. Money is an equivalent for everything. You need money for dates. You need money to pay your Wi-Fi to talk to her. You need money for credit. You see, money is not a must that you give her money, but you must have some currency in your pocket so that you can be able to evolve around that ecosystem. So I think everybody should check up on that podcast. It was crazy. That was episode 4. And that was episode 3, sorry. Episode 4, we talked about brotherhood and friendship with a good friend of mine called Brian. Now, brotherhood and friendship was special because this episode really got a lot of views, almost like 180 something or 200 views. It was crazy. Now, I think friendship and brotherhood was special because I think it really affected mostly the men related to this topic. You see, brotherhood is deep. Brotherhood and friendship. Brotherhood is something deep, and it goes beyond the common man's understanding. You see, brotherhood is something that if you've watched series like Game of Thrones, like Vikings and stuff, you understand how deep this thing goes. It's not like just a normal thing under the sun. Brotherhood goes deeper than deep. Now, we talked about how there's the difference between a friend and a brother. We said that a friend is somebody, is just another casual person you meet. Friends, you meet them every day, but a brother is somebody who you can count on and you know they'll definitely appear. So I think that was a very good, interesting stuff we talked about. We also talked about friendship. I think friendship goes deep, and we also talked about how it's good to be be a good friend, you know, have good moral values, have good friendships, have beneficial friendships, not just friendships that are just there. Have beneficial friendships that benefit this party and this party. When they come together, they're able to stay and stick together. So I think that was also a very good stuff. I don't want to expound more because I want you to go and watch it. That was very, very deep. And lastly, this was episode 5. We talked about, it was the Valentine's edition. We shot it last week, and where we talked about, we shot it with JDL, and we talked about love between friends, family. We talked about the benefit of Valentine's. You see, and how Valentine's really is. Now, Valentine's is the month of love. It's the month of it's a day of love. You know, it's a day of love, not between couples and those people in relationships. You know, those type of relationships where it's it is the love between parents, between friends, between brothers, between sisters, between workers, love between two people. Now, we were able to talk about so much in that podcast. We talk about how love truly is special and how love is the universal language of the world. This podcast we indulged in how love breaks barriers. Number one, it breaks barriers in the sense of how one person, like in the sense of marriage, how one person can come from wherever they are and come in the midst of this other person and come together and meet and create a beautiful thing, maybe called marriage, or a relationship, a love relationship, between a man and a woman. And how deep these things go that they create even newborns, like how marriages now they have kids. And you see, all of this is brought about by love. Love also is in the streets. Whenever you're walking in the streets, and whenever you're going to restaurants, and whenever you're going, love is everywhere, you understand? And it is what makes the world go round. Like the same way, like the way Mother Teresa used to say that you should love everyone. Even the Bible, actually, I don't even know why I'm going that far. Even the Bible says that love your neighbors, you love yourself. It always talks about love, 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 love. Now, that episode was special to me because we really got to indulge, we really talk about more between love, between friends, family, and everything. And I hope you see the trajectory that I'm trying to bring in this podcast. Number one, there's some topics that always come up. Number one, we have brotherhood, we have love, we have relationships, and we have love, brotherhood, relationships, and we have bonds. Now, all of these things are brought about. These are the things that mostly have circulated among the first 5 episodes that we have done. We have talked about so much. I've indulged in so much that I think that it is very deep. And the best thing about it is the reviews that I've gotten is it's just raw, it's not about staged. I don't really like staged podcasts because I feel like, coming to a podcast and knowing what to say, knowing what to do, personally I don't really like that. But we get to experience a person. It's a memory. Whenever you watch something like this, it's a memory, and something that somebody may say may stick in you and may stick in your mind. Now, we're hoping that we're going to do more and more as we progress, as we continue. I was just doing this review for many people, for those maybe who missed the first episode, missed the second, maybe watched the third, missed the fourth. Sometimes consistency is hard. So maybe I was doing this so that everybody may get a context of how these things are done, how the topics that were stated in this every podcast that we did, how we are able to talk about different things, how we are able to articulate different topics, so that if there's an episode that I've stated that you think that maybe you think you'd be interested in it, you'd go and watch it. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much. I'm humbled. I'm definitely humbled. Check you out next week, same time, same place. Peace.